Welcome back to AI War 2, Sage against the Machines, and we have finally cleared out Rumpus Room and are ready to do the hack. Almost, because we have Warden piling in here. Now, I have gone forward, though, about an hour and a half in the game, simply because it was just getting so repetitive, and it was just more of the same, really. We had to spend most of our time fighting off enemies in various places, couldn't keep the fleet in here a lot, although we did do some work. Hope we got another reconquest wave coming. And this bunch of turrets here ended up being quite sizable. And so we had to take it all the way down to just over 2,000 turrets left in here in these other two places before we got the region around the archive clear. Just need to reroute our fleet here over to where this wave is going to hit us. And actually, why don't we move it in about where the turrets are? Because I think that's going to work a little bit better for fighting off wherever it comes, and it looks like they're coming from this direction. Okay. So I just want to clear out the rest of this mess. And basically, I just want to keep my fleet close to the archive. We'll put them about there. We've got turrets on the lower side. Alright, let's get this hack going. Now, of course, the notable bit about the archive hacks are they take 5 minutes, get 8,000 science from them, but if you fail them or cancel them, you lose 80 AI progress. So this fleet is off limits now for going back and defending, which is why I'm keeping our Thanatos back in Anvil. And then, of course, after the hack, we need to concern ourselves with the response actual strike, but one bit at a time. The actual hack response itself, coming out of the archive, is not yet significant enough for us to worry about. What's going on in here? Oh, we've just got some of our ships pathing through from the other fleet that didn't get loaded in. That's no problem. And we're just hanging out, waiting for them to show up. Was I in the wrong planet? Looked like they were saying they were going to come. Oh, there they are. I just wasn't quite looking at the right part here. Okay. On they go. And almost half done with the hack. No problems there. There's enough of them in here, I think we will fall on our outguard just to mop them up more quickly. Part of the reason for doing that is simply the fact that we are, actually I'm going to move my fleet up a little bit more. We're going to want this fleet to go back and help make sure our homeworld is defended. And also, they're pounding down this shield pretty effectively. You know what? I think we actually probably don't need another one. Let's just try to put up another shield here. But they're really... Wow, this is... Yeah, that's not going well at all. Maybe I should be doing that. Appears they have a fairly painful selection of units. Yeah. Great. Well, that's going to be even another Exo Strike on top. This is going to get a little bit ugly then. We've still got over a minute before that one hits. We do outnumber them here. We will get this command station back up. They just had some anti-shield units very clearly in this group. So they've got Pike Corvettes, MLRS, Polarizers. So we'll be able to clear them out. And now, starting to have metal problem again. Meanwhile, back here, everything going quite well. Now they're running away. Let's go ahead and pursue and finish them off. Okay, everybody load.
Hacking is finished.
And now we're getting the exo strike in response to that. Okay. So, I want to get back to the homeworld where we're already getting hit. Now, another aspect of this is that, well, let's just check out how we're doing in Rumpus Room. Let's finish off the last of these. Which looks like it's going to take a little bit. There we go. Go ahead and go after them. Now I can take down these turrets now. And if we weren't already getting hit over here, I would like to build some in Fugazi. But we can at least say, okay, what are we going to do with our science? And I think we need to really, this is sort of showing us these battles we're having. I need to build my defenses up some. We're going to get another 8,000 from the next Spire Archive hack eventually, and I'm going to want to use that on our turrets. But what else might we want? Well, I'm going to boost our force fields one more level. We've only put the one level into that. So I'm going to add another one. Help them out some. And then we've got some other options we might consider. I could go after something like one of the hull techs. Really light and heavy, going to be about the same bang for the buck. Medium, not really too valuable. But I'm going to go with core instead. That'll leave us some extra. And the reason I'm going with core is, first of all, okay, boosting up the sniper frigates from Mark III to Mark IV now, the Gatlings. That's nice. But also, the next item I'm going to want to hack is in here. With this ODSS. And the V-Wing drone hangars, well, those use the core tech. So that gives them up as well. They're going to be up to Mark V now. So that's basically my approach in thinking about doing that. Then from here, we need to finish blasting everything away.
All turrets, fire at will.
Firing as soon as we're in range.
And okay, the rest of that, zombies, you go ahead and handle that situation. Oops, I think we got everybody loading. There we go. And now I want everyone back here. Go ahead and help us out there. Now, how is our fleet doing? They're just returning. And we are not doing so hot here. So one thing I'm going to do, we don't have a lot of metal, so I can't just, I'd like to build a bunch of turrets on this side, and I'm going to do that. But the first thing I want to do is just get this third force field up.
I'll see that it's done.
Just to make the survivability higher. When we come in here, and you can see we may lose some of this stuff. But now we can distract them more. And hopefully fight them off. Now from the outguard side, we are kind of playing with fire here. We've got 45 seconds. So if we can last 45 seconds... Oh, look at that. Dire to Thwida. Those are always fun. And also dire grenade launch. Guardians could be worse. Really getting hit by that Shark Exo plus the Hacking Exo at the same time. Not a lot of fun. If this had been a worse mix of ships, then we would have failed. But I think we're going to make it. Just going to hang out here and make sure we do. Let's go ahead and knock out the Tequila.
Orders received.
Okay. I'm going to wait a bit. Let's go ahead and slide off to the bottom here. Now let's use the radon we freed up from knocking off those turrets. And we're going to build up, not a huge amount, but just some defenses on this side. This is not the last Exo attack that we're going to face.
We won't rest until it's done.
Something like this, and maybe add a few of the vampires over this way. And this is now headed to Fort Pregnable. Okay, so we're going to want to watch for that. And in the meantime, build all these up. And I think now what I'm going to want to do is head back and do our hack here. Let's grab the V-Wayne drone hangars.
Hacking initiated.
Then, of course, we're going to get another Hacking Exo.
Hacking job complete.
Yay! More CPA bunkers. Now, we have been regularly keeping those totally cleared out when the CPAs hit, so I'm not worried about those. Back here. I believe we should be prepared to handle this now. And we'll go ahead and put up, I think, the drone hangars. Now, I'm not going to want to put them up on every planet. But I am going to put some of them up here. 8 is a lot, or however many it's giving me. I think it's actually going to give me 6. I've had some strong players say they don't advise putting them underneath shields. They're not best there. Well, I find they get targeted quite quickly, and of course, unlike the turrets, we're not worried about them losing damage from being underneath the shield. So I think, let's go with 5 of these here for now. They're just going to send out drones as opposed to actually firing directly. And I find they are flimsy enough they get targeted quite easily and quickly. Even if they're among turrets, I find the enemies will target first. I'd rather have them around to harass the enemy. So, Anvil being, of course, the planet they send a lot of their attacks at. From this direction, and then our home world to deal with the Exos. And we really don't have the radon to do more than that, so that's what I'm going to stick with for now. And they are actually coming through this way, though. Okay.
Metal low.
And it looks like they're... Nope, that's... Yeah, when they come through this way, they normally want to come through third base. So I'm going to move in my fleet here, because this is actually blocked off. So it's not really going to benefit me to hang out there. Okay. While that's working, let's go ahead and deal with this wormhole borer.
Moving to new
Get
station.
everybody over to that wormhole. And I think we can be pretty confident in just coming in here and blasting whatever's around.
New position.
Under attack from enemy territory.
Well, they've got quite a bit of Hunter, actually. Good. Let's thin their numbers. Because this is a rather unpleasant town. So this is not just a simple, oh, we're just going to hack the Spire archive and then go on about our business. We have all of this cleanup to do, per usual. And if too many of the Hunter come in here, we'll spawn in more Outguard eventually. We're down to 20-some seconds on that count. Meanwhile, they're trying to bash through this, and we're not going to let them. If they do get through here, of course, we'll just fall back to Fugazi.
The AI is targeting a critical piece of our infrastructure.
But I'm feeling pretty good about how both of these planets are going. It doesn't look like the Hunter are coming in any particularly stronger. The wormhole boar is no longer a threat.
En route. Orders received.
Gradually bashing apart all their guardians that are in this area. And I don't really want to be in too much of a hurry to run off and do anything else because, again, our metal situation is very dicey. We have enough barely right now. Probably dip negative again. Oh, more and more coming in. Okay. As soon as we're done here, we'll go help them out. There we are.
Acknowledge.
Thank you for all the zombies, fellas. So as soon as we're done cleaning this up, of course, we want to go knock out those bunkers and eventually head back to the second of our Spire Archive hacks, which is in Last Call. Now, I should also note, if we were going to be completionist on this and get absolutely everything, we want to come down in here to Edgewise, because there's the Ultimate Fortress in here and you get 2,000 science from that. However, we would have to go there without taking another planet in this area. We would have to go through Creeping Disquiet, Mark 6 planet with a magnifier. So that'd be painful, probably end up hacking the magnifier at that point. Is it worth getting the science? And then in here, they have a similar but slower process going to what they had in Rumpus Room. They've got a bunch of turrets, a bunch of them are Seekers, they got a good amount of death grips as well. All stealth guard posts that'll kind of be hard to locate, and of course the Ultimate Fortress going around. We could do it, but I think it's really totally not worth it, particularly when you consider we've spent 45,000 science. That's probably going to be up to 60,000 by the time we're done. So I'm just going to say, you know what? We can live without that 2,000 science, and if I lose because of that, I probably deserve to lose anyway. Our next hurdle is finding a better solution to the pain in the butt that has become the Whatlark system. Because they keep spawning in CPA bunkers in there. I don't want to have to keep rebuilding ships because I don't want to take out the black hole machine. And if we spend the hacking on it, that probably means one less hack for ships that we can do later. So I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to clear out the system so that it's very minimal what we have to deal with going in and quickly knocking out that bunker in the future. We can just throw Outguard at it. I know some players like to do that. I found that that's unreliable, and I want to use my Outguard for other things. So what I'm going to do here is just send in my strike craft to gradually clean out the planet. And we'll just hit this one first. And if I need to, I'll send some frigates in with them. I'm just going to try this first.
Taking fire behind enemy lines.
And it looks like we have about as much as the resistance is. So this could be a decent start. Now, just in case we need it, I am also going to switch out some things with my fleets here. Because if we have to move back and defend, I want to at least be able to bring all the frigates with that right away. So all the frigate ships from my cloaked fleet are going to switch over. Then everything else is just in Fleet 1 in case we want them going different directions. And then all of you can load up. And then what I can also do is just set this fleet to stationary. And then I can select all the ships there with that fleet, and then the transport, of course, will stay put. Okay. Now I think we're gonna just go after this force field guardian. And gradually more ships coming in. Most of the way through the shield. There we go. Everybody breaks free. And then there still will be a fair amount that we have to rebuild, but it's better than having to rebuild all those expensive frigates. So, good news, bad news. We did get the CPA bunker in What Larks, we did clear out the planet. But while our strike craft from the main fleet were occupied in there, they struck at Anvil, and the rest of our forces weren't enough to hold them off. They took it out. No problem with the Exo strike, but it did result in the AI being able to shift their forces around more than before. So they're hitting Texarkana with a whole bunch of their Exo war units. We're trying to race back there. Unlike Anvil, we can't afford to lose this planet. It's got the balanced fuel station there, and we need that, so that's going to be vital. And then the next deployment of the CPA bunker came over here in Exfilad. Well, there's no good way for us to get here. Really, this planet and Creeping Disquiet are really the only ones, along with Edgewise for the Turtle AI, that I'm not interested in seeing a CPA bunker on. I think the Reconquista, they send smaller CPAs anyway. I think I'm just going to let them have that bunker, because that seems to be better than trying to pound my way through, although neither one is a good answer. At the moment, we've just got everybody coming back here. We need to handle the attack in Texarkana and whatever might follow it. So I'm going to have this fleet get off pursuit.
Understood.
And just come back here. And they've sort of split up into a couple of groups here. But I am a little bit concerned about... And here comes our Thanatos as well. Main fleet still on the way. But I'm concerned about the number of Exo war units that they're accumulating. Because we're keeping an okay handle on this, but... Okay, they're going to come to Kessler Pit. Well, at least that's right by. So we can switch forces between the two planets. That should be okay if we can knock out some of these Exo war units quickly. Well, I had the wrong fleets grab. Let's make sure you're attacking this as well. There we go. Yeah, and you're here. You need to run back and unload for us. Okay, so that one's down. Here comes another one. It's at this Phoenix. And a minute and 20. Need to thin this out enough so that I can afford to send ships out elsewhere. And the Malgrims are just sort of hanging out back here, but this group is not. We got the Phoenix, Hunter Seeker, and another Hunter Seeker. And I think I actually want to pull them back to my turret. So let's just go ahead and back up. There we go. Now we'll go after this one. Now they're within range of our full firepower. 30 seconds left. We've already knocked out 2 Exo War units. Looks like we're going to get 2 more here. And we're hanging on pretty good, but our metal is not a lot. Kessler Pit has an argon fuel station, which technically we could lose, but I really don't want to. Okay.
Coming right.
Let's knock out this one as well. Looks like maybe running, but I don't think it can run anywhere in time. Okay. And the Maugrims have run and escaped. Alright, let's get everybody loaded up. Make sure that we hang on to Kessler Pit as well. They have... Looks like they have not actually quite arrived here, but they will. And our support fleet's already in here after having been crippled. We need to rebuild all of this. Of course, we're about to run out of metal. So where are you coming from? Here they are. They are about to pop in. Yep. Let's just make sure this gets wrapped up reasonably quickly.
The AI is targeting a critical piece of our infrastructure.
Normal wave coming, no concern there. Of course, we are going to have another CP. Okay, now they're running. Go, chase them down. And a lot of them are going to escape, but we are now safe for the moment. Now our goal is to gradually build up our metal, and I mean, if we can, I want to knock out some of these before they escape too far. We'll see if they are willing to hang around. Otherwise, we are building up, hopefully, to eventually hit last call. That's the next Spire Archive, and that's the final bit on our agenda. So we'll be pushing towards that next episode. Boy, is this grindy and slow, but we are, I think, still making progress. It's right on the edge where if things get much worse, it could start to go south. Anyway, we'll be back soon. Thanks to everyone for watching.